Pleasant good morning to you and welcome to Planet Sports, live and exclusive to Planet Radio 101.1 FM. We return this beautiful morning with exciting conversations as usual in the world of sports, ranging from the world of tennis to the athletic scene, where we're already looking at the potential start of the Commonwealth Games, particularly for Team Nigeria, as they depart for pre-games training camp ahead of the tournament proper. We'll also be looking at exciting stories, particularly in other sports this morning. The world of football is not actually exempted at the moment. One would say the FIFA World Cup has faced off officially, but we're looking at what next. What next is actually the Women's Africa Cup of Nations on the continent of Africa, where Nigeria are heading to this particular competition as the favorite, especially after winning their 10th WAFCON title in the last edition. They'll be going all in to ensure they make it 11th time winning this one. And just like I've always re-echoed, this particular WAFCON also serves as qualification routes for the upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup expected next year. We'll also be looking at the world of transfers as well with you this morning, with exciting stories regarding transfers, who's moving and who's staying, what has happened in the last couple of hours as regards transfer stories as well. All of which you'll hear right here on the show this beautiful morning. I am UT David, and I'm delighted once again to do this with you. It is Planet Sports on radio, Planet Radio 101.1 FM. And don't forget, you'll also have a chance to actively evolve your thoughts to us when the time is right. Welcome once again to Planet Sports. Let's quickly head straight to action.
Sports is a way of life. Live it every morning on Planet Sports.
Well, let's begin the conversation this morning from home, and it has to do particularly from the Commonwealth Games. What are we actually expecting? What have we anticipated since the start of the year, especially from the athletes that will be representing Nigeria? To a large extent, it has been really beautiful because the highly expectation and anticipation of Nigerian athletes doing well in some pre-international athletics tournaments in the build-up to the Commonwealth Games paid off. We saw many Nigerians creating and breaking and even keeping more records for themselves. Well, we hear that the first batch of Team Nigerian athletes and officials depart their pre-games training camp in Aberdeen, Scotland, for the host city Glasgow today. With only 3 days remaining before the start of the 2026 Commonwealth Games, a second batch we here will move into the Games Village on Friday. That would be July 24, joining teammates already on ground for the opening days of the competition. The phased movement follows weeks of intensive training and, of course, even acclimatization in Aberdeen, where Team Nigeria has actually fine-tuned preparations for one of the Commonwealth's biggest sporting events, with the National Sports Commission also providing some technical, medical, and even welfare support, according to reports, to ensure the contingent arrives in Glasgow in peak condition. So the likes of sprinter Favour Ashe has actually praised the Commission for the quality of camp, revealing that allowances have also been paid in full ahead of the game. So that has been one of the greatest news I was waiting to hear, particularly because it has been concerning in recent competitions, Nigerian athletes, Nigerian players having to revolt before their indemnities are actually paid. But Favour Ashe confirmed that the allowances has been paid in full ahead of the game. So this, to a large extent, would also bring some mental stability for the athletes to do really well and amass as many medals as possible. Toby Amuzan, age 29, is also targeting a third consecutive Commonwealth 100-meter hurdles title, having won gold in 2018 and 2022 as well. And of course, she enters Glasgow as favorite after defending her African title in Ghana earlier this year and clocking a season's best of 12.28 seconds on 3 occasions right there. So many will be looking at her as well. Nigeria's preparations actually suffered a setback. If you could recall, some days ago I talked about the injured long jump star Eze Brume handing a bid to defend the title she won at the previous games with a game's record leap of 7 meters. Ruth Usoro, by the way, has been drafted into the squad in her place and will compete alongside Pristina Ochonogo in the women's long jump event as well. All the best. We're looking forward to what to expect from these particular Commonwealth Games. It is finally coming, to the start of it. Nigerian athletes are expected to be at their very best. Well, away from that, now straight to the world of tennis this morning, looking at conversations over there. Usually when we have ATP and WTA competitions coming to an end, we do have big movers, we do have drops, we do have, of course, the ATP and WTA rankings. Well, after what we saw over the course of the weekend, Stefanos Tsitsipas winning his first title in as many months. As a matter of fact, the man has also, successfully climbed, a lot more higher in the ATP ranking. A host of ATP Tour stars last week enjoyed successes on European clay to boost their respective positions. And Deman Stefanos Tsitsipas, a former top 10 star, and Andrei Rublev at the Nordic Open in Bagstad each lifted their first trophy of 2026, while the man, Daniel Merida, was the first-time ATP Tour champion at the Croatia Open. In this particular one. Stefanos Tsitsipas, the 27-year-old, has endured a difficult 12 months on tour, but showcased his willingness to dig deep and, get victory right there at the EFG Swiss Open in Gagstad. The former world number 3 won 4 3-set matches to clinch the title, including against Rafael Collignon in the championship match. And, of course, Stefanos Tsitsipas is back on the brink of the top 50 in the ATP rankings after climbing 34 spots as a result of this game. He was formerly world number 51. Now he's climbed 34 spots. That shows you that the man, of course, at the moment has actually broken into the top 30 as it is at the moment. Congratulations to him, by the way. Andrei Rublev, the same thing as well. Number 14 at the moment. He's broken into the top 12, if you like. But the man has the chance to climb as high as number 11 this week when he competes as a top seed at the Extorial Open right there. So he's still got a chance to even break even further. Up the ladder. Daniel Merida, now world number 59, and really good for the man as well. Congratulations to the big movers. We don't have much time to dwell much on that, but we're still expecting big top competitions particularly. But let's also look at the WTA and what has been happening in recent times, especially for players. Barbara Krejcikova, ladies and gentlemen, returned to the top 30. Sharif is also back to the top 60 in the WTA rankings as we have it. For Barbara Krejcikova, the Athens champion won a 9th career title, her first since Wimbledon 2024, and first on hard court since the San Diego in 2023. The former world number 2, who missed the first 5 months of 2025 with a back injury, another 3 months this year because of a thigh injury, climbed 6 places from world number 32 to world number 26 in the WTA rankings at the moment. She returns to the top 30 for the first time since June 2025. And this is something really good for her. Last seed champion Maya Sherif's turnaround began last month with the Berisia WTA 125 title, followed by another in the Contro Seville 2 weeks ago. But while the former number 31 now owns 10 WTA 125 titles, Dark Sources hasn't really carried her over the WTA tour between the start of 2025 and that run between now and, of course, 2025. But at the moment, she's also seen some significant rise. She has now won 15 of her past 16 matches. She jumps 42 places from number 97 to number 55 this week, returning to the top 60 for the first time since April 2025. Those are big moves, as I must say. Paulo Badosa, a former world number 2, who was ranked world number 142 at the end of June, saved herself from defeat twice before retiring in the final with a right thigh injury. Even so, she climbed 23 places from world number 115 to number 93, returning to the top 100 for the first time since the month of March. Mara Sakari also saw some level of impact as well from world number 37 to world number 33. But this may actually change after we have another WTA competitions that is set to happen in recent times. But one lady, I can't fail to talk about her, Aryna Sabalenka. She reaches 100 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, she reaches 100 weeks at world number 1 to join the elite club. That shows you the longevity of Aryna Sabalenka. I could recall 2 years ago, we kept talking about Iga Swiatek, what she has been able to do, maintaining world number 1 for a long time. But four-time Grand Slam champion Aryna Sabalenka has added another milestone. And of course, it has been 100 weeks, becoming just a 10th player to maintain that 100 weeks milestone since the WTA rankings were introduced in 1975. Congratulations to her. I'm looking forward to even more weeks before she is maybe dethroned. You never can tell if that even gets to happen this year. We're still on to Planet Sports right here on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. We'll take a very short breather. When we return on the flip side, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be looking at the world of football. What's happening, who's moving, who's staying, preparations ahead of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. All of which you'd have right here on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. We'll be right back after this very short break. Do stay with us.
It's rising like the sun and shining forth, sustaining life like never before. It will never set. The Planet Radio Station, 101.1, Uyo, Nigeria. This is the place to be. The Planet Sports, 101.1 FM brings you up to speed with all sporting events. Tune in to Planet 101.1 at 7:30 for your sports updates. We talk sports. Sports is a way of life. Live it every morning on Planet Sports.
Welcome back. It is your Planet Sports right here on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. Let's quickly start the football conversation from home, and it has to do with the camp of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. As at yesterday evening, the Super Falcons camp increased even further to 21 players as preparations for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations 2026 intensifies. The latest arrivals as at yesterday evening had Hester Okoronkwo and Uche Nakano being part of the contingent. So now we have Rashida Rajibade, Chiamaka Dozie, Sisa Shwala, Gloria Bona, Christy Uchebe, Fatima Oloko, Luatosin Debehin, Rufia Timuran, Shukura Tolanikbo, the likes of Tony Payne, Rinsola Babajide, Comfort Ehabo, Jennifer Chejini, Shikiratu Isa, talk about Chiwendi Hezu, Halimato Ayinde, Francisca Odega, Osinacho Hale, Joyo Mewa, Esther Okoronkwo and Uche Nakano are being part of the contingent that have already arrived in the Super Falcons camp. Still looking forward to something really handy for these side. Yes, we're still expecting the likes of Deborah Abiodun, Gift Monday, and Fulasha D. Ijami Lucy arriving. We hear they would arrive later today, being the 21st day of July in camp. And of course, we're still expecting the ladies to do quite well. And just like I said earlier at the start of the show, yes, they are the most decorated team on the continent of Africa, as it has to do with the FIFA, with the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. I beg for pardon. So much is actually expected of the side to do better this time around. One of their fellow participants at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations talk about Senegal women. We hear that their preparations for the WAFCON have been thrown into disarray after the national women's team was reportedly forced to leave their training camp hotel in Dakar due to unpaid accommodation bills. According to reports, the team spent only 2 nights at that hotel before being asked to vacate the premises after the Senegalese Football Federation allegedly failed to settle their bill. We just hope that they will settle whatever it has to do with the side before the start of this particular tournament, because it also has a way of affecting psychologically the impact of these players on the pitch of play. We're still talking national teams. Nigeria's Flying Eagles have departed for Cote d'Ivoire, ladies and gentlemen, for the WAFU Beyond the 20 Championship. Yes, the under 20 national team of Nigeria will be among the teams competing for honors at the regional tournament, which serves as the qualification pathway for the 2027 Under 20 Africa Cup of Nations, scheduled to be hosted by Ghana. So much is actually expected of this side to do better. They have prepared extensively for the competition with the technical crew aiming to secure a strong outing in this particular competition. They're a record 7-time winner of the Under 20 AFCON, and they will also be hoping to use the WAFU tournament as a platform to discover and develop even more talents that are capable of representing the country at the highest level of competitions. So much is expected at the West African region competition. They have to do better right now. We're looking forward to what will happen for the side. But away from that now, before we head straight to Europe this particular morning, Super Eagles of Nigeria in the latest FIFA ranking have retained 26th position in the latest FIFA Men's World Ranking that was released yesterday, but slipped to 4th place among African nations. Eric Sekochell's side garnered 1,585 points to stay ahead of Turkey, Australia, and Canada, and Cote d'Ivoire, who occupy 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th and 31st position respectively in the global standings. So the Super Eagles have not featured in any competition or competitive action, if you want to put it that way, since June, when they suffered that loss to the former European champions Portugal in an international friendly. Nigeria's drop in the continent rankings followed Egypt's impressive campaign at the FIFA World Cup. The Pharaohs climbed 3rd in the African ranking after reaching the round of 16, where they were beaten by Argentina. Morocco retained their status as Africa's highest-ranked team after advancing to the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. The side moved 1 place in the global rankings, rising from 7th to number 6. Senegal remained Africa's second-ranked nation, despite dropping 3 places in the world rankings. Algeria slipped 1 place globally, but retained 5th position on the continent. At the top of the global rankings, newly crowned FIFA World Cup champion Spain returned to number 1 position, with Argentina dropping to 2nd. France, England, and Brazil completes the top 5. So the next rankings is actually scheduled to be released around October 2026. So Biden maybe would have changes made to the rankings, but at the moment it is what it is for the Nigerian national team. 26 in the world, and number 4 on the continent of Africa. Well, let's quickly look at the water transfers this morning before we hit the phone line shortly. We hear that Trabzonspor will offer a second bid to Lyon Super Eagles striker Tolu Arokodare away from English Championship side this summer. The Turkish Super League club is looking to replace Augusto, who they sold to Zenit for £15 million in add-ons, £5 million rather, yes, in signing Tolu Arokodare. Fiorentina, having filled their non-EU quota with some cells, were actually forced to withdraw from the race for Tolu Arokodare. We hear Trabzonspor will submit a new offer for the striker. as there is a new Serie A interest in the Super Eagles striker Genoa have also reportedly joined the race to sign Tolu Arokodare from Wolverhampton Wanderers. We hear Wolves valued the lanky striker for 20 million euros. So if you don't get the man, then you have to pay the sum of 20 million pounds. So back for by the euros, 20 million pounds to get this man's signature from the club side. That's just what it is at the moment. Still more transfers for you. We also hear that Chelsea are actually in the market to get the man Lacroix from Crystal Palace after recently signing the man Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa. Chelsea have accelerated their interest in defender Maxence Lacroix after fresh round of talks with Crystal Palace. The proposed deal is being handled by the ownership of both clubs, with the latest discussions described as being really positive. So Palace have been keen to offer Lacroix, who has 3 years to run on his existing deal, a new contract, but the player is seeking a new challenge. It is actually understood that a deal worth £60 million for the 26-year-old would be, of course, what Crystal Palace are looking for at the moment. Lacroix has made 98 appearances for Crystal Palace since joining from Wolfsburg, and to a large extent, Chelsea, when they're in for you, they have to splash the cash. Maybe in recent times, they have done that, and Crystal Palace understands that if they really want this man, then they will have to splash the cash. We're looking forward to what gets to happen before the end of the window. But let's see the phone lines now. 0806-804-5443. 0806-804-5443. Hello, good morning to you and welcome to Planet Sports.
My friend, good morning, my friend.
Good morning to you, Abamiti. Talk to us.
Thank you. God bless you, my friend. My friend, they say my team Chelsea, my player. I want a good player, and I don't need one. I need more than 3 up to 5, so that the league, I want my team Chelsea to carry the league. Then next season, I want them to pull on, go Champions League and go and carry the Champions League and come back. That is what I need. Thank you. I will continue to say the Blues for life.
Thank you very much, Abamiti. Thoughts appreciated this morning. 0806-804-5443. 0806-804-5443. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to Planet Sports.
Yeah, good morning. It's
Good to have you, brother. Talk to us.
Yeah, this is Nani.
Welcome, Nani.
My brother, all attention now is has gone to the Super Falcons of Nigeria because of the incoming Nations Cup. Because they are the people that always give us joy. But we believe they will do the needful in this coming Nations Cup. So kindly update me with the latest Manchester transfer before you bounce.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thoughts appreciated. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, UT David.
Welcome, Victor, the Sports Oracle.
Yeah, UT, let me say I'm really happy with the just released FIFA rankings yesterday. Still celebrating Spain with their FIFA World Cup trophy that just won, followed by Argentina and other teams. For my team, Chelsea, still signing players for the season. I believe sign a quality player and challenge for the Premier League title. That's my take.
Thank you very much. We hear that Manchester United are actually all in for Manu Kone, and we hear they are the front runners to get the France international who plays for AS Roma. They're looking for a defensive midfielder, but to face competition for his signature from Arsenal in this particular one. We do not know how serious Arsenal are in for the man, but we hear that Manchester United are all in for Manu Kone, and maybe before the end of the week, we could actually have a very concrete offer tabled by Manchester United for the France international player. This man seems to be a journeyman, and I'm talking about ex-Aston Villa striker John Duran. The man has joined Benfica on a season-long loan from Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr, where the Portuguese giant will be the 7th club for Duran's career. Guess how old he is? He's just 22, and he's played for 7 clubs already, and that's why I said he seems to be a journeyman. He recently played for Fenerbahce and Zenit St. Petersburg. Also had a stint after leaving Aston Villa. He went to Saudi Arabia, spent a few seasons rather, and now he's back to mainstream Europe. You never can tell. Maybe after just a few seasons with Benfica and, of course, Zenit St. Petersburg, he may likely come back to the English Premier League. he seems to be making fast money. Because when you go to Saudi, you're earning big money. That's just what it is at the moment. Good morning to you. Good to have you.
UT David, good morning.
Talk to us, Top Gunner. Good morning to you.
UT, if I may ask, where will FIFA select the Ballon d'Or? Is this one the winner of the club?
They have already stated that the FIFA World Cup has nothing to do with the Ballon d'Or. You've got to be one of the best players during the entire season to win that particular award, not the FIFA World Cup.
Okay, anticipated. I was thinking Mbappe may win it, but I'm hearing Lamine Yamal from the corner.
Those are speculations, nothing concrete at the moment.
Okay, UT, hijack FC, Chelsea, they don't hijack Rogers. Now, so then they're not going to go Sabibon again. Look at Modric. Look at Casero, they hijack from Arsenal. What did they have to give? I wonder, that is so astronomical. 117 for that English player for that matter. That will not last up to 1 year or 2 years. May go ahead, Chelsea. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Top Gun. I thought you appreciate it. They just go for their man and get it. For us, Arsenal, they were looking forward to bidding down the valuation of the player set by Aston Villa. So it was a case of who wanted more and who was a little bit intentional about getting him as quick as possible. We hear Roma have sent West Ham a new offer for winger Crescenzo Somerville. So we're looking forward to see whether Roma or whether West Ham rather would actually receive that bid and allow the man move to Roma. We hear the proposal is £39 million. But here we draw the curtains. But the much we can actually do on the show this morning. The phone lines are still buzzing. We'll take more calls and reactions in the afternoon. We're going to turn 3 to 4. Up next on the frequency will be the newspaper review. So keep it low right here, Planet Radio 101.1 FM, as we continue to revolve around you. 3 to 4 is the time for extensive conversation in the exciting world of football. Join us later in the afternoon. Well, I'm UT David. Thank you very much once again. It's a wrap on Planet Sports.